Darren, you do a lot of work with leaders at all levels, from C-suite down to first-time leaders.
Yes.
Let's just focus in on first-time leaders. What are you finding out there? What are the sorts of things that are resonating, that they're asking for, and that in your experience, are the highlights of the sorts of areas that new team leaders need to focus on?
Yeah, and I think that's so important, is the complexity is how do we simplify it? How do we create where they can focus on a couple of key things? And I call it the big three, right? The big three. So number one is it's all about how you show up, right? It's how you show up day in, day out. How do you show up? You know, a lot of talk about being an authentic leader. Well, they don't want an authentically grumpy leader, right? They want consistency. They want people showing up groundedly optimistic, with a focus on how do we get things done. Number two, playing chess, not checkers, right? Is the idea being is that the two games are very similar, as you know, right? On the same board, but different in terms of how you use the pieces.
Yeah.
Checkers, they're all the same piece. Literally, they're in a box and you move them down. Yeah. That's not how we lead, right? How we lead is we need to look at each player individually, each member of our team individually. What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? How do we optimize the strengths, mitigate the weaknesses, and produce the best outcome for our team, for our organization, and for them and their development? And then finally, number three, which is really all about focusing on what we can control. Far too often, organizations and in our culture, we're focusing on this outer circle, which is our circle of concern. Those things that we have no control over whatsoever, that cause worry and anxiety, and we want to close that gap, right? Focus on what we can control. By doing that really well, we start to increase our circle of influence, which we may actually be able to influence more of those things in our circle of concern. But focusing on those things we have no control over is just a recipe for anxiety.
It is,
and you see all kinds of bad behaviors in organizations because people are too focused on those things that they have no control over. And as a new leader, the most important thing for you to do is get clear on what it is that you're required to deliver and help your team to deliver that.
Okay, so here's what I got. 3 really useful tips for team leaders, areas to focus on. First one, really be intentional about how you show up. As the best you, right? That's it. Second, I love the metaphor of chess and checkers. It's so powerful that, you know, we are playing chess, not checkers. And the third thing is focus on your circle of control, not your circle of concern. Because we spend so many times admiring problems that we have no concern over. Amazing tips. That's why you're such a wise man.
Thank you, Andre. Well, bye for now.